like yours will surely come my way. Every day seems a little longer. Every way love's a little stronger. Come what may, do you ever long for true love from me? There you go, and baby, here am I. Oh, will you left me here so I could sit and cry? Well, golly gee, what have you done to me? Oh, well, I guess it doesn't matter anymore. Love you like I do.
Hello again, and welcome to another edition of Cars and Us. I'm your host, Dennis Tate. Today, Cars and Us is way out in quite a distance from Westchester. We're out in Long Island, not too far out. We're out in Nassau County, and we're at an event here with at Artano's Rock Saloon, Rock Cafe. Real nice place. The motif is all cars, and that's a segue into what we're going to cover today. It's an event put on by Dennis Quinones, so we'll get on an interview a little while. But he got together all the guys, the old timers that raced out here in Long Island, and it encompasses guys that ran drag racing, that ran the road courses, and that also ran stock cars. I'm standing right now in front of Al DeAngelis is Ace of Spades, a very famous, very well-known, and highly regarded stock car. So we're going to see a few of the cars out here that are parked out here. We got Vinny Musicaro, who has Jack Merkel's 33 Willys. That's out in front here. We've got a couple of custom Mercs. We've even got a couple of dragsters. So this is our outdoor test for today and show for today, but we're going to be indoors most of the day because we're going to be doing interviews with the likes of Coney Island Ralph, Jack Merkel himself, and all the guys from out here on the island that made history in Long Island and made racing what it was out in Long Island. So stick with us for the next 30 minutes. As I said on the intro, I was going to bring Dennis Quinones over here and do a little interview with him to tell you what he put together. It's going to be a real special day because these guys haven't gotten together in many, many years. So he spent a lot of time, spent a number of months, and we're in store for, like I said, for a treat because there's a lot of guys out here that that most of the guys in Westchester and that have been around racing, whether it be drag racing or stock car racing, they're all going to recognize all these names and faces when we get to talk to them later. But right now we're going to introduce Dennis Quinones.
Good, Tony.
Welcome you to Cars and Us.
Thank you.
And thank you for inviting us out here. And this is going to be some day. We're in store for a real treat out here.
Well, I think we are. We're pretty lucky with a couple of factors. First of all, of course, we got the weather on our side. We're
sure.
a little concerned with that. Secondly, we got some really dynamite cars here. Some recently restored, some very famous unrestored. I just want to correct you with one thing. My last name is Quitoni.
Oh,
okay?
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Well, we
It's
got to
quite all
spell
right.
that out so we
I've
get the
been-
graphics
I've been
right.
called a lot of things. But inside the place today, we've got 75 guys that, through racing endeavors, either in business or in actual driving race cars or building race cars, that have been involved in this sport since the 50s. We got people from drag racing and stock car racing, even street rodding. We got the curator of our only museum on Long Island for stock car racing, Marty Himes. And we've got some of the more famous cars, including the one we're standing in front of, Al DeAngelis' Ace of Spade car. A couple of restored front-engine Draxes. And we're all geared up to have a good time today. And there'll be some eating and drinking, and I'm sure there'll be a lot of stories being told.
Now we have, I brought some DVDs of my own, but not of Long Island, but you know, other tracks around. I understand you have footage of Islip at the stock car track.
That's correct. We have
also some National Speedway footage.
We have both. We have a continuously running story of stock car racing from the 50s to the 80s. It runs about an hour and a half, and it's going to run continuously. We also have about a 1 hour story, a video story of West Hampton, Islip Speedway, and New York National Speedway. So we're pretty much covered with racing.
Now, were you able to get Ed Eaton Jr.?
Ed Eaton Jr. is going to be here. He's not here right now, but in fact, I think he just showed up. I see him in the background. Okay. Ed Eaton Sr. regrets not being able to be here today.
Well, he's relaxing in Boca.
Yes, he is. But we're thrilled to have Ed Jr. here. He's got plenty of stories from his dad. Right. And he's going to give us a little talk about the beginning days of drag racing, especially as it was involving National Speedway. Sure. And Marty Himes from the Marty Himes Museum is going to do the same thing with stock car racing. Right. So it's going to be a pretty interesting deal for everybody.
You know, then I have a lot of memorabilia too from National Speedway, but I couldn't fit everything, you know, and I said, I don't want to clutter up everything. So, you know what, I'm sure you guys have plenty of it out here.
We got more than we wanted, but I'm so thrilled with the outpouring of help that I've gotten, number one, and also the contributions in photographs and in videos and the cars. I know you've been filming the cars, and people love to see them. But more importantly, what we really did is we brought together guys that maybe haven't seen each other in 30 or 40 years.
That's the fun of it.
Yes, it is.
That's the fun of it. And, well, it's going to be a successful day, and, you know, we're looking forward to talking to some of these guys.
I'm looking forward to meeting some of these people that I never met. Right. So it's going to be a good deal, and I thank you for coming down and giving some attention.
This is what keeps it going.
Thank you, Dennis.
Then, thanks so much.
Enjoy your day.
Several years ago, I opened up the newspaper and I read an article up in Westchester County, and it was about a museum. Gentleman starting a museum out here in Long Island, and it started with Islip. And I said, you know, wow, I have to read this because I did run at Islip at the 1/8 of a mile. So little did I know that I was going to attend this function down here and meet Mr. Marty Himes, who actually is the owner of this museum, and he has it out of his house. So we're going to find out a lot of stuff about automobile racing and its history on Long Island. Marty, welcome to Cars and Us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Pleasure to have you on. As I said, I read this article years ago. Little did I know that I was actually going to have an opportunity to meet you and get a chance to talk to you about this museum and the history that you started about Long Island racing.
I'm glad you did, because there's a lot of history on Long Island. Actually, one of the first races in the world were held on Long Island. October 8th, 1904.
Is that
the Vanderbilt Cup race was held right on Long Island.
Where?
It ran on the road racing. It started at Alley Pond Park in Queens, and they made a circuit of about 2.5 miles a few times.
Now, I'm going to run something by you because I come from a long line of, my family has been around cars since they were invented. Again, as you know, I come from Westchester. Did you know that Yonkers Racetrack was an original?
Sure. It was a mile track originally, Empire Stadium.
Right.
Empire Speedway.
Right.
And I actually drove on it myself, but I drove on it on a half mile. I drove a midget in a sprint car.
Did you? Yeah. Well, my grandfather worked on Henry Ford's Barney Oldfield's 999.
I know the car well. I have an autographed picture of Barney Oldfield.
Do you?
Yeah.
That's terrific. So getting back out to the island now, You got. Well, first of all, I want to make note of the award that they gave you, that Dennis gave you. Really,
Well, this
really
award,
nice.
this award, I've gotten many awards in my days, but this award sums it all up. You know, after all the years I've been doing this, 33 to be exact, to get an award like this I really appreciate it.
Oh,
you know?
sure. Well, you're very much appreciated. You're keeping everything together.
Yeah.
What made you decide that you wanted to preserve everything?
Okay. How it started was I was racing up until 1975 myself,
Were you?
and I stopped and I said, I just can't stop. You got to do something. So you got to do something involved in, you know, racing. And with that, there was a famous man on Long Island, worldwide famous, Bill Schindler, one-legged race car driver.
Is that right?
Yeah, he lost his leg in the Mineola Fair in 1936. And that's how I started. I started my museum by hanging an 8x10 autographed picture of him on the wall, which is still on the wall 33 years later. And that's how it began. And I just knew there had to be a lot of this history on Long Island, not only of my own, but other people, all needed to be saved. Otherwise, where would it be now? Be gone.
Now this museum is out of your house.
It's my house, 2 or 3 office trailers, a couple of garages, and you just can't imagine what I have.
Marty, where are you located?
In Bayshore, Long Island.
Okay.
And all it takes is a phone call, and
Well, we'll get your card.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
You know, we'll get you. I have a girl, a friend of mine, who does a magazine, and it's online. She just started it, and it's called Still Running. So, you know, I think some of the information about you and about the history and everything would be prudent.
Oh,
Put in
absolutely.
that magazine.
Absolutely.
As well. Go on the internet; it's all free.
yeah.
You know.
I've been
So
written
we'll
up
do
in
that.
That's good. I've been written up in every magazine, Car and Driver, right on down the line, every newspaper, the New York Times, Daily News, all of them.
I can't remember the paper that I saw it in, but it was, like I said, it was a few years back, and I guess your collection has grown quite
Oh,
extensive since then.
It grows daily.
It does.
Yeah, and even at an event like this, you end up talking to people, and oh, wait a minute, I got something. Before you know it, I have it.
Marty, are they reluctant to give it to you?
No,
or how is-
absolutely not. People realize what I'm doing, and if I didn't do it, it wouldn't be done.
Right now, if anybody wants to see your collection, is there an appointment they have to make?
Well,
or?
we call it an appointment, but we're really not that high class, but it's just to make sure that I'm there. They're welcome to come day, night, holidays, weekends, Sundays, I don't care. As long as they called you. I hate to have people make a trip and I wouldn't be there.
Now, I notice you have a lot of footage here from the that's Islip, right?
That's Freeport.
Oh, it's a
It was all
Freeport.
Freeport, 2 hours and 45 minutes worth.
And how did you come by that? How'd you collect that?
The two gentlemen used to be track photographers at Freeport, and the other fellow was a announcer and a record keeper at Freeport, Gary London and Ed Appold. They were the track photographer and the record keepers at Freeport. And thank God they filmed a lot of this stuff, and they donated it all to me, and I took it all off the reels and put it on tape. So everybody can enjoy it.
What we have to do is put it on DVD for you.
That's what needs to be done, but everything costs money.
Well, I can be of assistance to you when it comes to that.
It would be appreciated.
Because any film that I acquire, I mean, most of my library is all drag racing footage.
That's fine. I cover some drag racing.
But if you get that, I transfer it over all for free.
Oh, wow.
So I have use of the film, and then what I do is I put sound to it, and then sometimes I make a.
Well, we have sound with this,
DVD.
too.
You do.
This has some sound on it.
It did.
Yeah.
And that
Sound
was-
and music.
Right, okay. I put synchronized sound on my drag racing footage,
Yeah.
so it's as if it was filmed with the
Well,
sound.
we did it this way here, and it works out fine.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's terrific.
It's 2 hours and 45 minutes long, though.
That's a lot.
Yeah,
That's
but
a
it's
lot.
good.
Oh, yeah. Oh, they had some nice, footage, some slides, rather, of National Speedway, too.
Oh, yeah.
But you get involved, again, getting back, you get involved in a little bit of everything, not only the
Everything.
stock car, the drag racing as
Everything.
well.
I just can't. When I was in my racing career, I couldn't do drag racing and oval track, so I had to pick one. And I picked oval track, and I've been doing it since 1955.
Right.
That's a long time.
Did you travel around? What other tracks beside Long Island did you run?
In the old days in my career, I just ran Freeport, Islip, and Riverhead.
Riverhead.
But after I retired, then I made the what do you call it, the old timers event.
Right.
You know, that type of racing, and I've raced everywhere.
Did you?
New Hampshire Speedway,
Okay.
Lebanon Valley, Middletown, New York,
Sure.
Yonkers Raceway.
Sure.
There's probably White Lake.
Right.
There's probably nothing you can mention in the Northeast that I didn't
That you
drive on.
haven't.
Yeah.
That's terrific. I had a question. I lost my train of thought. There's
Yep.
so many questions running
I
through my
know.
mind. But getting back to your racing, what car and what classes did you run?
I ran them all,
Did you?
starting with the Jalopies at Freeport, an old 1937 Hudson. And then after I became the champion in that division in 1962, then I went on to the next one, which was a sedan division. After that, it was a non-Ford division. And after that, the modifieds. And I drove them all.
Now, kind of a sad question or a bit of sadness, and all the tracks have disappeared. Now, Islip, I understand, is a cookie factory.
That's correct. Silver Lake Cookie Company.
And how about the oval part? Is
The
that
whole
still part
place.
of it?
Yeah, the whole complex is
It's an industrial
It's
complex.
an industrial complex with 3 buildings, and one of them is Silver Lake Cookies.
Right. Now, I understood, correct me if I'm wrong, but I understood that the 1/8 of a mile is where the cookie factory is.
It's right alongside of the building. Runs north and south.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
That was a fun track.
Yeah, and the entire pit area at Islip Speedway is still there.
Is it?
Yeah, it's used as a parking area for the buildings.
No kidding. Well, that's interesting.
Now, one thing you didn't know probably was how many racetracks do you think were on Long Island over the years? Starting with 1904 with the Vanderbilt. That's a racetrack.
I'm going to say probably 12, 13.
Over 40.
Wow.
I could name them all if I had a little time.
No kidding.
Yeah, over 40.
Amazing, and now we're down to nothing.
They're down to one. And then all of a sudden, that'll be gone. It'll be all over. And you'll never see another racetrack on Long Island.
Oh, no, I know. They're very tough out here. I have a lot of people that have been saying to me, we're trying to get a track out here.
We've tried. Everybody's tried everything.
Once you lost West Hampton, that was it. It's a shame, but that happens.
But the one good thing about my museum is if you need to talk about this stuff or you want to see things from remnants, I've got them.
Right.
I mean, I got the starter stand from West Hampton.
Do you?
I cut it down. I take the pavement, I take the guardrails, I take the gates, I take the signs, I take everything. The original West Hampton sign, which was like 16 feet long, blue background, white numbers, letters,
Yeah.
I have it.
Do you? That's terrific.
Yep. I even have the signs when they closed, when it was running go-karts there. I took that too.
Did you?
Yep, we got them all.
For you. Good for you.
Yeah, so that's where my museum means a lot.
Sure.
There's nowhere else you could go right now and talk to anybody about what we're discussing. You got to talk to me.
Right.
I'm the guy who takes care of that.
You know what? What are you making any arrangements to pass this on?
Well, the way I can figure it out, my family wants to continue it on, of course.
Good.
I mean, I have 2 daughters and a son who love it. I have 2 grandsons, actually 4 grandsons who race go-karts.
Okay.
One of them, the oldest one now, he just graduated. He's going to run a Legends car this year, number 92 at Riverhead.
That's terrific.
Yeah, Brian Johnson. As a matter of fact, you may have seen the flyers I had here with me
I didn't see any yet.
on the table over there, and the story was written about me by my grandson when he was 15 years old.
That's terrific.
Now he's going to be racing.
So it'll never go away.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
That's good. Well, you know what? It's been a pleasure.
Oh,
right.
My pleasure.
And certainly me, with my background too, I appreciate what you do because I try to do the same thing. And it's guys like you that really mean a lot to the sport and to the hobby. And
Do what I can.
and we just have to continue along.
The Ace of Spades that's outside, that's another one of my cars.
Right.
And that was like one of the first race cars on Long Island in stock car racing.
Yeah, I took some footage of it, and we'll show it as we speak.
Yeah.
But,
And it still runs.
how about that?
You go right outside and drive it away.
Flathead fire right up.
Yeah, right away. But I have a lot of cars at my museum, so I have cars, helmets, trophies, anything that you could possibly think of.
I'll have to give you a call. You give me a card. I'll have to give you a call, and we'll do a story on it.
Absolutely.
Because we
Why
can't.
not?
Obviously, we can only just talk about it
Oh,
here.
of
But
course,
I'd
you
love
just
to come
touch
out.
the surface, right.
That's right.
No problem
Marty,
at all.
Thank you again.
You're
It's been a
welcome.
pleasure. Thank you so much.
It's been my pleasure, too.
Earlier on, at the beginning of the event, Dennis gave an award out to Tony Ferranti. I have it on tape, and I didn't quite get his full background, but we got him sitting alongside of us now. So we're going to introduce to you Tony Ferranti, and the legend that he is amongst the racers out here in Long Island. Tony, welcome to Cars and Us. All right, pleasure to meet you. And as I said, they gave you an award over here, and we're going to hold this up and see what it says. It says Long Island Motorsports Reunion, presented to Tony Ferranti in recognition of your community, your commitment and professionalism to the success of Long Island Motorsports. So I understand from Marty Himes that you go way back. You're kind of you're the real legend out here.
Well, I started back in 1959 racing oval stock, stock cars, and I've been in it ever since. I had a couple of drivers there, Jim Henriksen, Al D'Angelo, to name a few.
That's the Ace of Spades.
Yes, and basically I raced in tracks in New Jersey, Long Island, and Connecticut, and what have you.
Well, let's name some of them.
Well, so I started off with Wall Stadium, Old Bridge, Stafford, those type of tracks. Vineland, New Jersey.
Okay, sure. How about Flemington?
No, Flemington's a dirt track, so I never really ran there.
I see.
It was mostly what we call oval asphalt tracks.
Paved.
Yeah, all paved tracks. And then I had Jim Henriksen that drove for me about 20 some odd years. We've been very successful with him. And then by that time, my son was 20 some odd years old, and I took him with me to all the races when he was 14 years old, and he wanted to drive, and at that point on, he started driving. Now for the last 20 some odd years, he's been driving. So actually, I'm still doing it. In fact, this weekend we got a race up at Thompson, Connecticut, and
right.
he'll be driving at that show up there.
So you're still very active.
Yeah, which keeps me young. When you hang out with young people, it keeps you young.
That's no true words have been spoken.
Yeah, that's the whole secret of it.
That's right. Now, where are you from out here on the island?
From New Hyde Park, Franklin Square area. Yeah, I lived there all my life, and we have a shop there, and that's where we keep the car and work on the car.
What describe the car to the viewers?
Excuse me?
Describe the car to the viewers. What kind of car?
Well, it's what they call a modified, a NASCAR modified.
Okay.
It's a small block Chevy. It's got 650 horsepower. It's got 15-inch tires. And at tracks at Thompson, we average 120 miles an hour, so top speed is about 140.
Wow. And
we also go up to New Hampshire. That's a 1 mile.
Is that Loudon?
Loudon up there. Over there, they make us put a restrictor plate on.
Oh, do they?
Only because they want to keep the speeds below 150.
I see.
Because up there, it's a 1 mile oval, and we average about 130 to 132 miles an hour, average. So they don't want us going over 150 miles an hour.
Tony, is there a lot of prize money to be made?
Well, in all types of racing, there's not enough prize money to cover it. But it's enough to, between the prize money and product sponsors. That's what keeps you going. Okay. The product sponsor and a little bit prize money you make, you're able to afford it to a certain degree.
Right.
But the product sponsor is a big deal.
What's the average cost of going to a race?
We figure about anywhere from $2,500 to $3,000 a race.
No kidding.
Yeah, only because we do pit stops. And when we do pit stops, we run through 4 sets of tires. You practice in one set, you start the racing on one set, and when you do all our races are 150 laps. So these tires are only good for 75 laps. At the 75, halfway through the race, we have to do a pit stop, put on 4 tires, and go the distance. So the tire bill is kind of expensive, but that's what keeps the show going.
You have sponsors?
Most people.
Or are you the sponsor?
Yeah, most people do have sponsors. I was lucky enough to able to, to keep going without any type of primary sponsors. The only sponsorship I have, again, is the product. You know, like you get the gas for nothing and that type of
that's
stuff.
terrific.
Yeah, yeah.
And speaking of fuel, what do you use?
Sunoco. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Sunoco is the primary fuel. And, you get, shocks and all that type of stuff.
Right.
So, like I said.
Little guts of deals.
Yeah, and, like the gas deals, it's a big deal.
Oh, sure.
Even the tires, they sometimes give you, 3 to 4 tires a race if you finish up front. So all of that helps, keep the cost down.
Now, obviously, you're retired.
Yeah, I've been retired. Yeah.
Now, what did you do? What did you do?
I always been in the automobile business. I had a body shop all these years, which I still do, but my son runs it now.
Oh, very good.
And that's where we basically work on the car.
You kept everything in the family.
Yeah. Yeah.
This reunion, I guess you've seen a lot of guys here that you haven't seen in quite a few years.
Well, it's nice to see guys that are, you go down memory lane with them.
Right.
You bring up some old stories, and most of the stories are good. We have very good memories. I've been involved in it all these years, and let me tell you, I don't regret it. The only thing I regret right now, I wish it was 20 years younger, because I'd still be doing it.
It so goes with everybody, I'm sure,
Yeah.
But no, it's been a fun day, and I've met a lot of guys out here that I didn't know. Dennis put on a hell of a show out here. Really, really great.
Even the drag guys, like George Christing, I don't know if you know George. He's an old. He was a drag racer for years.
The Pacers. Is that who? Is that who you
Christing, the
Oh, Cook's Headers. Yeah. Oh,
Cook Headers,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't get a chance to talk to him yet.
Oh, okay.
But I know of him. I didn't know him personally.
Well, we kind of grew up in the same town, and I was in oval racing, and he was in drag racing.
Right.
And the drag races always was a little bit ahead of us in engines. And one day, like I say, he come over to me, he says, Tony, he says, you gotta get a little more umph in that motor there. I'm gonna give you a drag racing cam. I said, no, we do oval track racing. He said, put this cam in the car. You'll be surprised what it's gonna do for you, which I did. And sure enough, it really turned the motor on.
No kidding.
So, we always got together, whether it be a drag, oval racing or drag racing. We all had the same. We all had the same goal. We all had the same goal. So we're always worked out.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Long Island was very well known for all types of racing. So the proof of the pudding is this reunion.
Well, the island. There's a lot of history on the island.
Right, as we just found out from Marty Imes.
Yep.
Certainly.
Cars is always America's #1 love affair. So
That's what it is, exactly. And I hope it continues that way. I don't know. The way the foreign cars are coming in, though, seems to be changing a bit, But we'll see.
Well,
we just have to keep it alive, that's all.
No, they'll keep going. They'll keep going. As long as you've got guys like you around keeping this thing.
Well, we try. We all try. We all put a little bit of effort in, and we all make it work.
Guys like you to keep it going.
But it's
And
gentlemen like you that have been there and that have the stories to tell and have been around, and especially on the island. You were so active and so well known. So it's my pleasure to have had you on here. I really thank you so much for taking a few minutes, and I know you're going to go back down, sit and go over those old stories again with the guys.
Thanks again. I appreciate
All right,
the effort
Tony.
you guys made for us. Thank you very much.
My pleasure, Tony. Thank you.